Our audio. Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah West, designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is Mr. Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pedro's Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we're here to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That's right. This is a show we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects for you folks. Welcome, everybody, to the show. We're hanging out in the Discord chat room. So we'll take a moment to greet everybody who's joining us live. If you'd like to join us live during the show, you can do so by hitting up the Discord server. The invite URL for that is discord.gg/Adafruit.
We are hanging out in all of the chat rooms. We're on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and of course the Discord.
That's right. Pedro, if you would, please
give a shout out to everybody hanging out.
Give a shout out while I fix stuff.
We have all the usuals hanging out. We have Vince. We have Mr. Certainly Bruce, Jim Hendrickson, Cup of Coffee. What a very fitting name.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got the audio fixed because our mics are always a fun thing. Even our backup mic, the backup mic seems to work really good. So let's go ahead and jump through kind of the housekeeping stuff. We'll let you guys know that there are still some freebies going on. So the more money you spend on Adafruit, you can get some free stuff with your orders. These get added automatically to your cart. So let's kind of run through them. For orders that are $99 or more, you'll get a free Perma-Proto, that's a half-size breadboard. For orders that are $149 or more, you get the Perma-Proto and a randomly selected Stemma QT sensor breakout. These are really great. If you have an account with Adafruit, we'll make sure you don't get the same one twice. For orders that are $200 or more, you get the free Stemma QT breakout, the free Perma-Proto breadboard, and free ground shipping from UPS. That's continental US only. And then for orders that are $299 or more, you get the free UPS ground shipping, the Stemma QT breakout, the Perma-Proto half-size breadboard, and a Circuit Playground Express. Be sure to check out adafruit.com/free for all the details on that. Every Monday is the Circuit Python meeting, with exceptions on holidays in the US. We had a holiday on Monday, it was Labor Day or Memorial Day, and now, so we had the meeting on Tuesday. So you can always follow on along with the Discord server and find out what times if things change. But normally it's on Monday at 2 p.m. Help Wanted, you can check out the jobs board at jobs.adafruit.com and find out all the different job postings that are available. It's free to create a profile if you're looking for a gig, or if you're an employer looking for some makers with some maker skills, you can post up your listing for free. So head on over to jobs.adafruit.com for that. The newsletter happens once a week. It's called the New Newsletter because there's new products that get added to the shop weekly. So you can stay tuned and keep up to date with those new products by subscribing to the new newsletter. Head over to adafruit.com/newsletter. For daily newsletters, we have adafruitdaily.com. Check it out. It's a standalone website, and you don't get automatically subscribed to it because we don't do that. So you can go to adafruitdaily.com and check out all the different categories that you might want to subscribe to, such as Python on hardware, 3D printing, maker business, biohacking, and IoT monthly. So you can check those out by heading over to adafruitdaily.com. I think that's it for the stuff. Hooray, hooray.
All right.
Thank you. And our mic seems to still be working. What a fun.
For now.
Yeah, I just turned it on and turned it off, and our backup mic worked out really well. It's just always running, and it runs really well.
Yep.
So that's good.
Looks like we're not overmodulated this week.
That's right. Woo-hoo. And there's no static and stuff. Audio is such a hard thing to do, Bugs. It's the hardest.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into last week's project.
This week, we wanted to spotlight the USB Trinkey with a video. So we put a video together, and it's pretty much last week's Learn Guide, but this week we wanted to make a video for it.
Yep, so we talked about this for about a month, I think. It is the Trinkey case, nice little stabilizer on here with the USB shell, and of course the cap touch buttons. We went over the Learn Guide last week, so we won't do that again, and just a quick overview of the uses for the Trinkey. I think Dylan is working on like an injection where you insert it into like a Chromebook and it like sets up all your Wi-Fi and all that, like your passwords and all that, for doing deployments in education. So
Yeah.
you have a large amount of like computers that need to be set up with like the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
An excellent way to have I forget what they're called.
Yeah, it's
injection.
called a rubber ducky. That's the
Yes.
product that you could purchase, but you can totally DIY one with a Neo Trinkey or any of the Neo Trinkeys, rather the USB Trinkeys. That's what we're calling them. Yeah, so this one is the Neo. You can do the rotary and also the slider. And this one here, I don't know if we showed this one off, but the
And
the Neo
Keypad,
Key,
yeah.
which has a Cherry MX/KL switch.
So a bunch of these really cool single use with multiple inputs for
Yeah.
your little quick task. So again, we also released the little
The
USB,
shell. So
Stabilizes.
if you want more stability when if you want more friction and stability when you plug in your Trinkey, check out the USB shell. It's a quick 3D print with no supports. You can print them all for your Trinkeys, and you can wedge it into the USB port to get better fittings. That's
All right.
that's it there.
Yep, so a nice little overview of that. You can check out the video and, of course, the Learn Guide and all the files for that. I had a couple of makes of these over the weekend, and
Yeah, we
excellent
have those in
way
the community make. Yeah.
We'll show that off in the community
For
make.
sure. So if folks would like to use these and create different, maybe some 3D printed enclosures that are different or sort of mounting bits, we do have some models for folks. So we have a 3D model of the Neo Trinkey PCB. So you can check this out. We have the Rotary Trinkey as well. This one comes with a model of the rotary encoder. And the Slide Trinkey. Slide Trinkey comes with a 35mm slide pot and all the lovely components on the bottom there. So check those out. Heading over to our Discord, our GitHub repo. Pedro can post a link to that in the Discord, and we try to promote that wherever we can. And I might as well bring it up. Oh, I can't. I don't have it locked in here. That's fine. If you go and search for Adafruit CAD parts, you can pull it up there, and you can find out all the different parts that were added, namely the USB Trinkeys. We do have one more. Yesterday on JP's product pick of the week, he chose the NeoKey FeatherWing. So the NeoKey FeatherWing is a 2-key with 2 Neopixels, reverse mounted Neopixels, and they have the KL sockets, so you can switch them out. You can easily pop them out, and they have the right little nubs and all the little mounting bits for a KL or a Cherry MX switch. So if you want to pick up this, you can purchase it now and get the 3D model of it. And the Learn Guide is a work in progress, but it has a Stemma QT connector on it and a lot of other pinouts and things. So really, really cool FeatherWing. And great job, JP, for showing it off yesterday. It was on sale for like crazy cheap.
The little milk carton design.
Yes, the milk carton design is something we probably will do.
All right, cool.
Cool, thanks for the link there. All right, so check out that video on the Neo Trinkey, and check out that USB kind of shell if you wanna make your thing a little bit tighter.
Yep. All right, let's move on to, I guess this show, it's going to be mostly covered up with all the prototypes I've been working on.
Quite a bit, yeah. How do we start? Which one first?
I don't know. Which one?
Do we do the fan?
Yeah, let's do the fan. Let's see an update to the... So this is the smart fume extractor. Liz had this idea.
Yeah. So we were testing it out, and we kept running into some airflow stuff. So this is kind of the V1 version prototype of it. And while you're using it, it's because of airflow and because of the placement of the sensor, the fumes tend to wrap around. It's really difficult to get a good reading from our little gas sensor. So we worked it so that we could, how do we make the airflow directional? Yo dog, I heard you like fans, so we put a fan on your fan. So with a little mini 5-volt fan for like a Raspberry Pi, we fitted it over the gas sensor and enclosed it so that the fumes can actually kind of can group together so that the sensor can actually read it. And on the back, there's a little hole so that the air can actually escape. So this just makes it so that it definitely gets a good reading on the solder fumes. So that's kind of the update that we're working on.
Yeah, so you tried adding a funnel on there, which didn't quite work. So
yes.
Instead of having a funnel, how about you have the fan act as the funnel to suck in the air?
Yeah, airflow is quite a difficult thing. You can't really see it, and you can simulate it in maybe, I haven't been able to simulate airflow. I think you can in certain CAD packages. I haven't really searched that, but
Maya.
Yeah, Maya. But by enclosing it, enclosing the fan and the sensor, it will trap all those fumes in there so you can get a good reading, and that seems to be working pretty good. In the video here you can see it sucks up the fumes, and it'll push it out towards the carbon filter that's in the back there, and then once it gets a reading, it'll map that to the fan speed because it's using PWM, so the fan, the Noctua fan, is directly mapped to the fume. So the more fumes, the higher the fan speed, and you can change and play around with the range too. So we're still working on it, but that's what we have so far for the prototype. Multi-layered fans. It lives up to the overly complicated fume extractor name.
Added another layer of complexity, but
Yeah.
It definitely works. Although I had a lot of luck without it, but of course that was just the time of day probably, or the way that the air was
Right.
probably
I mean,
on
I played around with the value just so that it would turn on, but to get an actual good reading, you can see the airflow is just being displaced. It's just the way the airflow is, and when you have a sensor in the center of a fan, maybe that's not the best. Yeah, maybe that's not the best place for it, but yeah. So that's the bit of the prototyping. So we're thinking this will be ready for.
I think next week.
I think, well, we still need to get Lamar to approve this, so we'll probably do the CPX Jeopardy game.
Okay.
So let's take a look at the Jeopardy game. What's that?
Yeah, so trying to be lining up with the pop culture of things that are going on right now. There is a bunch of celebrity guests that are hosting Jeopardy, and of course one of our favorites, Lamar from Reading Rainbow, is going to be a guest host on that. So Lamar thought it would be a good idea to try to make a Jeopardy-based game with CPX. Circuit Playground, Blue Fruit.
There you go, CPB.
So, CPB, yeah. So here is the repurposed handle that was used in the Fairy Wings. And what you do here is you set up the game to allow the players to go. So it can hold up 3 players. And once you get your answer right, it'll glow with the appropriate color. So I should probably have all of the handles match the color that will be for each player. And then once you get the answer right, the controller will allow you to erase that. And then another tap to allow the players to chime in to what the answer is going to be. So that allows you to chime in again and either buy a vowel or something. So the way we have this all hooked up is we'll show the diagram and everything when it comes out, probably next week, and just a stemma speaker on there to amplify that sound, which I don't think there is a sound when you tap on the button, but we thought we'd add it in there just because we can. So everything's gonna be enclosed in this little case here. This will be where the controller button will be set up in. And on the inside, we'll have the Circuit Playground and the stemma speaker on the bottom there.
Yeah, it's a good spot for the speaker.
Yeah, nice little snap fit together case with the arcade button on here. And then the LEDs will glow through to the translucent cover here. So work in progress, but nice way to have a home DIY Jeopardy game.
And huge shout out to Dylan Harada, who wrote the code for this and kind of ideated it with Lamar.
Yeah.
So shout out to both of them for letting us work on the 3D printed parts of it.
Yeah, nice.
Right now it's, sorry.
Oh, go.
I was just saying the alligator clips won't be there. They're just there for prototype folks. It'll all be nice and enclosed, but it's nice to show, what it looks like in prototype. And most of the projects start off with alligator clips, especially on a Circuit Playground, Blue Fruit, or Express.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why Lamar wanted the CPB to be the controller for this, just so you can prototype easily. And if you don't want to go with the case, you can have these just as a a nice set of wires that.
Yeah, I think folks could repurpose the code and the electronics to make a bigger version of it, and they could use that because it's CircuitPython. You could use a different board, whether it's a ESP32S2 for doing Wi-Fi, an NRF52840, or even an RP2040. CircuitPython now supports all of those chips.
Very cool. All right, so that is the Jeopardy game.
Yay! Can't wait to have fun and play with that. It's a good family time game. I love making games. Those are the best ones.
Well, not when the children take the game a little bit too serious.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, it's a good opportunity to learn to not be a sore loser.
Next one up that you're prototyping is messing around with some CNC.
CNC milling. So this is the Lemon keypad. I'm anticipating some more CNC milling, so I figured why not try to mill out some of these keycaps in some of this hard wood. So I came up with a couple of different designs because I kind of failed at a couple of them. So I got a couple pieces here, and I want to share with you folks because each failed piece is a story of its own. So I guess I'll show off this one. This is sort of the first fail. So trying to design a stem, I ran into some issues where my tool is a bit... Give me a sec. I am not hitting the right slider. I have to do that snap again. Okay, so while trying to design a stem, I came up with this bit here because I was referencing the little keypad, the little kitty paw keypad. If you take a look, the way they're doing it is it has these kind of posts that kind of protrude out, and they're not fully enclosed like, I don't have another, wait, sorry, I didn't really rehearse this. This is what you would see typically. You would see this stem that is fully enclosed like that. But because of my tool, I kind of couldn't do that. So I went with this route. And this works well if you are milling it out of aluminum. So this is what happened to a few of my keys where these little bits just broke off. So I had to rework and redo the design. So instead of going with these little pillars, I figured let me try to enclose it. So this is more of a KL style stem, so that fits into the stem that way. So that's what I redid there. And let's see. So that's this one. This is like the what failed on this one is the the position of this is incorrect. It doesn't actually match the position of this. So that was a kind of a fail. It's like it worked great, but you forgot to update and push that up so it's more centered. If it's off by a millimeter, well, it's not going to fit your lemon, is it? So that's a fail. This one, it works okay. It didn't fail, but because of this, I'm afraid to kind of use this because I feel like that could break off. This is walnut, or perhaps it's cherry, one of the two. I used cherry and walnut interchangeably. It's supposed to be hardwood. Doesn't matter, it still broke. So let's look at the next one. This is another fail. What's going on here? Why did this fail? Well, this one failed because I didn't use enough tape. The tape wasn't, I just didn't use enough tape, so this, as it was plunging down and doing a contour, it broke the piece off, and you can see here that it snapped off. So use enough tape, if that's one tip. Another one is to not be so aggressive in your step down. When you're milling, you don't want to go the max depth with a small part. I figured that, yeah, I always go with the max depth of a millimeter, cutting down with a 1/8 inch tool, but that's adding so much pressure that it could pop your piece off of either your jig or, in this case, tape. So what I ended up doing was, of course, using more tape, but also reducing the max step down from 1 millimeter to a 1/2 millimeter, because then it won't have so much pressure when it's plunging down into it. So that's what failed here. This one also failed in the same manner, where it only got about that deep until the tape just gave away and it failed. Yeah. This bit here, this failed because I didn't use the correct offset. So when you're doing, when you're creating your tool paths and you're using different tools, you kind of want to separate your G-code into individual tools. So this piece requires 2 tools, an 1/8 inch and a 1/32 inch. The 1/32 inch is a separate G-code, and I just forgot 1 millimeter, so it's off-centered, so this doesn't work. But luckily, I used a scrap piece, so that's why like there's these little Mars and stuff on the bottom there, because I actually used a scrap piece. But those are my fails, and I'm happy to share them with you. Here's some more pieces of wood. This is a cherry, and this is walnut. Can you tell? I can't. So I don't know.
Looking at the chat here, Patrick thought it was pine, so no, you can't tell.
Wood's different, I know, but yeah, maybe you can tell from the grains somehow. Yeah, but in any manner, that's some stuff there. I have some footage too that I can share of the experience. It's more of like just playing and testing. So one of the first things to do if you are milling is to face your material, which means I need to get it to the desired thickness of my part. So I use the 1/8 inch tool because it's the biggest tool that I can use on the Bantam tools. Desktop CNC, it's the PCB version. And right here, red flag, 3 strips of tape was not enough. This isn't just any regular tape, this is double-sided Nitto tape, which is like this paper craft tape that works really well. It's very strong, and it works both for hardwoods and aluminum in a pinch. So that's what I'm using, but it just didn't use enough, right? So here I am facing the stuff, and facing is just getting your material to the desired thickness, or also leveling out your material. So this can take anywhere from a half hour to an hour, depending on your feeds and speed settings. Another thing I realized is to not do both directions, meaning that when you're facing, you can tell your tool path, do you want to go from both edges or just one edge? When you go both edges, sure, you're saving machining time, but it ends up going against the grain to the point where like there's these very thin chips that give you splinters. So here are like all of that. I guess I could have reduced the step over. I literally got a splinter there. So I ended up facing it again, this time offsetting it a bit and going the full length down because there's not much to mill out. So I haven't quite had to do this yet, where I optimized 2 faces to get my desired thickness. I was working with a 12 millimeter piece, but the keycap. Not enough tape, it just broke right off. Horrifying, I know. All right, sorry about the audio, folks, but yeah, there's visuals here to go with what I'm saying. The last bit is to use the 1/32 inch to create that little plus sign cutout, and that ends up working out pretty good for the tolerances. Yeah. So setting it up in Fusion 360 is something that took a little bit, and I plan to do a layer on that. Yeah, I'm still learning kind of the workflow and stuff for this particular part, but I think I have enough to kind of share some techniques. But yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell.
In a walnut shell.
In a walnut shell. Good pun there. Yeah, I think that's right. We should rehearse this.
Right.
Yeah.
Avro saying that Fran Blank uses carpet tape to have the part stick to the CNC bed.
Ooh, carpet tape.
Yeah.
That's a good. I've never heard of carpet tape, but I need to find out about carpet tape.
And then people asking, was this 3D printed or is it real wood? Yep, it is real wood.
Yeah, it's real wood. I showed the video of the milling. It's real wood. That was before, probably. I showed that video. What else can I say about it? These are, I don't know, white box kale switches. Yeah.
Just gotta add some.
That's what I say about it. Yeah, it's missing some shellac or something to really darken the tones, because these are, you know, it's a mix of cherry and walnut, and I can't tell the difference. But when you shellac them, you can get some nice tones that comes out and really shows off like the walnut or the cherry.
Does the cherry come out more red?
I think so, and you can always play around with different stains. Cool. There we go. Well, so that is the CNC milling lemon keycaps. More to come.
Hey.
More different shapes.
All right. Yeah, I can remember when we were making these with the resin 3D printer. This was one of the most difficult walls to get to print out, just because of how thin it is right at the edge there. Oh, I'm not showing it, but yeah, that required us to just thicken it up a little bit while not getting too thick, where it couldn't fit into the actual switch itself. So, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the challenges.
One of the challenges with milling is the tool itself is circular. So if you look, you can't really get sharp edges on those corners there where the plus sign is. You can't. So I had to add some gaps so that the fillets are a byproduct of just cutting it with a circular tool. And the diameter of this tool, 132 inch, is 0.8 millimeters, and the actual width of the plus sign is 1.1 millimeters. Yeah, and then another weird thing is normally the stems are 4 millimeters tall, but the tool that I'm using is only 3 millimeters tall, so I had to reduce the height. But that's fine. It still fits okay, because the wall here stops the kale switch, the stem, from going too deep in, even though it could go a little bit further in. But yeah, and one thing to know about shapes is like they're squares for a reason, right? So if I tried to put 2 of these on our
spin around,
it just won't fit, right? Like it just won't fit because I don't have adequate clearance or whatever. Like that's why this isn't, you know, they want it to work with the key next to it, so you want to keep your keys defined within the square. But the whole point of this project was not to be a square, so that's why these just won't fit with the square. They just won't.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so just a little thing there.
Okay, we got some suggestions from Susan, who's saying to use a butcher block conditioner. Shellac has a feel, I'm guessing like a sticky feel or something.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. It might have
idea.
a feel, so you want to keep it nice and matte, not sticky, not tacky, right?
Search for butcher block conditioner.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Some sort of oil, maybe, like an oil-based varnish.
I see some food grade. And then there's another comment on Yanni is suggesting a Raspberry Pi 400 keyboard with wooden keys.
Yeah, that's a great idea. All right, just make sure that it works there. Cool. So.
And then Agent Smith was asking if the 3D printed filament, does it feel like real wood?
It can.
It can feel. Yeah. Especially the bottom parts. It's sawdust mixed with some PLA.
Yeah, it's composite. Yeah, so it's got real wood in it. It's just
it smells. And the smoke that comes out. It's all.
Yeah, but you want to be careful with it because it tends to chew and eat away at your nozzle, so it can cause some clogs. So be wary of that.
Yep.
Cool.
And then certainly Bruce is saying that a mixture of the mineral oil and beeswax is actually used for the cutting boards.
Yeah, wax for sure.
Yeah. And then Yanni's saying that it is also used for wooden tables and chairs.
Yeah.
Nice little way to protect that.
Cool.
Add
That's
some,
good suggestions, folks.
Some good conditioning to it.
Excellent.
Cool.
All right, I know where to go if I need some.
Yep, I got
Some
pulled up
tips
here.
on
Yeah, we got some.
Oh, nice. He's got Amazon pulled up with all
We
different
got one
products.
of these. Since it's going to be a couple of wood stuff.
Yeah, there's more wood stuff to come.
All right, cool. And that is what we've been prototyping.
Is that it? Yeah, that's about it. Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into this week's Community Makes.
All right, every week we find a design that's out there in the community. We 3D print it and do a time-lapse video on Tuesdays this week.
This one was found by PT with all of the keyboard projects going on. Phil wanted a giant MX switch, in this case container keyboard, just to be on the theme with that. You can check out John Park's build of those giant keys from Novel Keys. This is just a container, so it doesn't actually click down, but it is nicely themed, like storage for all you key fanatics out there. So 3-part storage pops open like that, and you can, in the case of the video that the designer who made this, they were just storing additional key switches on here. So it's sort of meta, storing key switches inside of a giant key switch. So, and I did see some of the pictures where he did actually fit an actual key in one of these. So you can have it like have like an LED in there, have it be a glowing container. So super simple, just like a normal switch. You pop that open and it just clicks in like that. And then these just wrap onto the side like that. And you can just use this as a very nice container. Giant key-shaped container. Does not click in or anything. Again, just for show. Very nice little themed storage box. This was designed by...
Yeah, I'll have to pull that up. I didn't get an opportunity to get links and stuff. Sorry, this is on Colds 3D. I'm pulling up the... Oh, boy. Nope, they didn't copy. Do you want to copy that and paste that in? It's in your notes. It's funny how Google Docs like slows down when I'm trying to get the link here. All right, so this was found on Colds 3D. You can check it out. This was designed by the creator here, ORIOLMACHIN on Colds 3D. So this is a paid download, I think. Yeah, it's a paid download, so you can check that out. Support the artists for doing their work. And trying to load his page. Here we go. ORIOLMACHIN has a couple other kind of keyboard projects too, so you can check those out. But shout out to you for creating this cool design. And now here's some photos of it.
Yeah, what I like about it is all of the little intricacies that are on a key switch, he managed to blow up, like all the little cutaways and of course a little slot there for the LED. So nice.
And these are real things that you can buy from Novelty Keys. JP and Colin have a learn guide, I think, in progress from JP. A learn guide from Colin, I think, is already out there, so you can search if you do want a real one. There are real indeed. You can purchase one. They are novel keys. Giant. There it is. Colin did a 3-key one with 3 of them, and he made a little stand for it. But these are real keys you can get. And JP, I think, managed to find a Kale version of it, I think. Was it a Kale version?
Yeah.
But yeah, these are
stuck a cutie
real,
pie inside.
Yeah, he stuck a cutie pie inside. So check out JP's last Thursday's build.
And of course, we're now getting suggestions for having the giant cat key nubbins. Keycap.
We'll see what we cook up with the keycap, the kitty paws.
All right, cool. And I think that's it for this week's Community Makes.
No, there's a list of them here, so let me pull them out. All right, so across the web, folks are tagging us with their makes, sometimes on Thingiverse, sometimes on Twitter and other places. This week, we have a user by We're Lawyers posted up their make of our Kingdom Hearts Keyblade. So this is a really fun prop from Kingdom Hearts.
Wow, I like that handle.
Gorgeous.
The shiny.
Sure,
like,
yeah. So you can use no finishing here. This is just filament that's silky. So you can make some really phenomenal looking props without any post processing. That's sort of my jam. I really like to do that. I'm all for post processing for folks to do it, but for me personally, it's nice when you don't have to. So really nice. Man, that's gorgeous. Super, super excellent.
Do they list what filament they use for that handle?
No, a lot of folks don't post anything, but that's fine. I just like that they posted it. The mystery is out there. You can it's a mystery, man. I don't know. All right, let's do another one here. How's our audio? Is it okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. All right, this one is a Halo Energy Sword. This was posted up by Claude's Back, and this is our 3D printed version of the Halo Energy Sword from the video game series Halo. So here we go. It's all 3D printed. The blades are 3D printed. The Neopixels are more. And there's a little note here. So let's read it. It says, had a lot of issues with coding. You have to install both the zip file and the additional libraries. Make sure to update the LEDs. Direction of the data flow should be the same, unlike the picture reference. Using 5mm slim LEDs as the 10mm didn't fit. Make sure your featherboard is the unassembled one, as the one with pins pre-installed causes some issues.
Yeah.
I've had to correct the terminal position on the battery. It was opposite in the pictures. Other than that, it was a fun build. Excellent. Glad to hear it. But yeah, you can make your own Halo Energy Sword. STLs are out there for you, and there's a learn guide as well. Okay. The last, third to last is another Thingiverse post here. This is a make of the 16x16 Neopixel Square display. You might see it there in the background. This looks like it still has a little bit to go, but it was printed on a printer of their own construction by V. Wagner on Thingiverse. So thank you, V. Wagner, for sharing your progress of the 16x16. This one didn't quite make it as a learn guide, but I went ahead and uploaded the files anyway because I felt folks would build it, and they did. So I'm really happy about that. And then the second to the last one is this multi-pass by Stuart. Super awesome. This just came to us in the morning. So huge shout out to Stuart for posting this video of his custom Vax build. Bear with the video here, but here it has a built-in OLED. It's using a NeoPixel Jewel and a Cutie Pie. I think that's the SAMD version. But yeah, it's super excellent. And he even has some laser cut acrylic. Man, this thing is super dope. And his comment was perfect. He says, I hope it's not, too busy and flossed in paradise. If y'all watch The Fifth Element, you know what I'd be talking about. Really cool to see the inverted mugshot too. It's so perfect. And look at the little details. Ada for the sort of Visa
for the credit card.
So good, so good.
QTT.
Stuart Dallas too. Stuart Dallas. Is his real name Dallas? I don't know, Stuart. And it has some buttons, I think, too, with an extra LED. So much detail. So much. It's so good. Yeah. I think I'm not sure if it's a remix of the multi-pass that we did a time lapse on. I'm not sure if it is, but maybe it is. Cool if it's not. It's all good. So shout out to Stuart for sharing that. Hope to see that on Show and Tell or something. Cool. And then I have another. The last one here is actually a blog post. So let's see this one. So this was posted by Flavio of Dev on Thingiverse. Flavio Fernandez posted this up. Sorry, there's the link there. So printed out the case and used the conductive filament as well. So very, very cool.
And he is using it as a what's it called? The insertion.
Okay. Cool. And there's a GitHub page for the project if you want to check it out. But it's on the Adafruit blog already.
People are saying that they cannot see your screen. I'm seeing it here on Twitch.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know.
Maybe when you went full screen?
Yeah, probably when I went full screen. It's fine. Okay. So that's this week's community makes. Thank you everybody for posting your makes.
Yay.
Super fun to see everybody posting stuff. And if you have something you'd like to share with us, you can tag us on any of the social channels or on Discord. There's a nice spot there for showing and telling. And that would be a good spot to, to talk about tonight's show and tell.
Yeah.
So tonight, we invite you to show and tell. It's happening at 7:30 p.m. You can hang out in the Discord server where we'll get a link for the StreamYard, and then you can join the StreamYard by clicking on the link. And then all fair games, you can do projects, work in progress, maker spaces, retro gear, all that stuff's fun. So a really fun time. So we invite you to come on and hope you're feeling it. And then the Ask Engineer starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time, shortly after show and tell.
That's right, it's a full hour of Lamar and Phil talking about all of the ongoings on in the maker community, the events that are coming back online as everything is opening back up. We're right at the end of the light. We're in the lighted tunnel now, as everything is getting back to normal slowly but surely. And then all of the brand new products coming out as well later tonight. So stick around for that. And I think there is also coupon codes back at on Ask an Engineer, so definitely tune in for that.
Yeah. It's just like the old days. You can put your orders in on Wednesday nights. Those are the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And then tomorrow we got JP's workshop.
Yep, every Thursday at 4 p.m. Join JP as he does live building, answering questions, and looking back at some of the things that happened in the week.
Yeah.
Is Friday? Is he back Friday?
I think so. Yeah.
Is he? You're sure?
It's one of the
I
last
think
shows before he goes on vacation.
Okay, thank you. Yes, you can subscribe to via Discord. There's a group that you can join to get alerted when Scott changes his deep dives, because it's not always changing. It's just you can like subscribe externally somehow. Thank you. All right, and then Sundays start with Lady Ada from the Desk of Lady Ada. It's live streaming on late night Sundays. Great search with DigiKey segments and
all the
top secret stuff.
All the prototypes that she's working on for upcoming projects and products.
Yeah. Tuesdays is JP's product pick of the week. I forgot Mondays. Sorry. Mondays are CircuitPython meetings at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Normally on Mondays. If there's a US holiday on a Monday, it'll follow on the preceding day, a Tuesday. And then JP's on Tuesday, for sure.
All right, you've been watching 3D Hangouts every Wednesday with me, Noah, and
yeah. Sorry about the audio. So tonight we'll do the thing, and we're looping back around. So let me hang out in the Discord server while I catch my breath.
All right, guys, and that's gonna be it for 3D Hangouts.
Yeah, thank you so much, folks. Good luck with all your maker endeavors. I encourage you to come on tonight's show and tell. But until then, remember to
make a great day.
Make a great day. Bye, folks.
See you later tonight.